Hello, and welcome back to Sharing a Chapter a Day. This is Do, Ra, me, and today I will be reading Chapter 85 of Engagement in Peril by Dara, Odoe, Sup. Chapter 85 is titled Proposal to Benevolence on Christmas Day 2001. Our first 6 months of living together seemed to go well for Benevolence and me. Our love and affection for one another gradually blossomed, and we all had fun and scrumptious Thanksgiving celebration then with her family and kin. And now was Christmas holiday. We had bought each other gifts and surprised to bring in the year winter's festive holiday. It was here on 2000. It was here on this 2001 Christmas morning that I was coerced to propose to Benevolence by her cousin Chastity. I wasn't thinking straight then. I was I so wanted to impress Chastity, so I did the unthinkable and was compelled to do her bidding and lost in her conniving way that early Christmas morning. It was customary for Benevolence and her family to open Christmas presents early in the morning. We awoke around 5 that early morning while sipping on hot coffee and hot chocolate. We all opened our gifts and presents together. All of a sudden, Chastity mentioned, "Dara, you love her, right? You really, really, really love her, right? Why don't you propose to Benevolence?" That's what Chastity had asked me, or chastised me about. Me being ignorant, simple-minded, and still wanting to impress the shit out of Chastity then, still in my tired stupor and in my cozy bluish-gray pajama, and I was compelled to impress her, the like of her then, got down on one knee in front of Benevolence and her entire family, took her right hand in mine, and asked the very words I wasn't able to take back. "Benevolence, I love you. I love you very much, and we have been together for several years now. We have shared much and we have gone through much together. And I was thinking, I want to ask you this. Benevolence, will you marry me?" Those were the words that I had mentioned to Benevolence to impress Chastity then. Benevolence looking down at me from above as if I was serious. In amazing, compelling lies, I continued with my ignorant role as the impresser. "Of course I am serious. Of course I am serious. I love you. Benevolence, I love you. And I want to marry you." I honestly meant it then, but I really love her, but not about the marriage thing. So with my sincere agreement that I really wanted to marry her, and with several deep breaths and some choking in her words, Benevolent answered yes. "Yes, I will marry you, Dara." So she had answered. We then hugged and kissed in front of her entire family, and under God's watchful eye that Christmas morning. Soon after, around 8 that morning, I called my mother and sister to tell them the good news of my engagement to Benevolence that Christmas morning. My mom and sister were glad for me. They didn't really question my proposal and wanted to help me with deciding on a ring and the arrangement for the future wedding to take place. Later that week, after working between free time, I spent some time with my mom about town and along the Cambodian jewelry stores up and down the Anham Street to find the perfect ring that will suit Benevolent's lovely ring finger. Since I had not much money to spend on this marriage proposal engagement, Mom was good at bartering and looking for the best option for the both of us. We came to a jewelry shop that Mom often bought gold, diamonds, and patronized at, so it was here I picked out a set of engagement rings for Benevolence and me. I picked out a butterfly-shaped white gold engagement ring with 25 miniatures diamond for Benevolence and one diamond white gold ring for myself. I paid the jewelry store owner in cash, and with warm thoughts and hearty feeling of accomplishment, I left the establishment alongside my mother. That evening, after Benevolence was off from work, I properly proposed to her once again in front of her entire family with the diamond engagement ring in hand. There were hoots, holler, and woo-hoo throughout my proposal to Benevolence that night. I slid the engagement on her ring finger, and once again she said yes, and we kissed and hugged from our happy proposal. In hindsight, I noticed that Chazzy was impressed from my actual real proposal. I was going all out to impress that bitch. I noticed then that the Benevolent was really happy with my proposal. She was almost brought to tears from my romantic, humble gesture that evening when I gave her the engagement ring. What could I do then? No way I was going to back out on that. I already had my head up my ass, and there was no way of going back. I was going to carry on with this charade. All I knew then was that I loved Benevolence with all my false heart, and in no way wanted to hurt her feeling or state of mind. I really loved being with her and doing things with her. We shared everything we had, and we were ready to move further in our relationship. For my proposal and engagement, mother told my uncle, aunts and cousins and friends of my engagement to my longtime girlfriend and now fiance. Words were going around, rumors were going around about our engagement. Things were spreading real fast like wildfire. But Nevins and I already decided on a month of our wedding day. We talked it out with our family and kin that our marriage was to take place in the month of August the next year, only about 8 months away. Mom had told family and friends who were near and far and was getting ready to get wedding invitation made and published so that she can send them out to possible guests and dignitaries. I was letting Mom make all the decisions for me then about my engagement and wedding arrangements. She was really happy for me then. Mom was happy to see her oldest son finally settling down, so I allowed her to do as she pleased, to let her be happy for me as well. But Evelyn's mother and sister were almost the same way as my mother and sister. They too had called and notified kids and friends as well of Benevolence engagement to me. They called Hawaii, they called the Midwest, they called the Philippines. They had a much larger family than mine. They had kin from all over, from the Midwest to the Philippine Island. They had family in Hawaii, Las Vegas, Kansas, Florida, Canada, and all over. And those people that I had met during their late father funeral were the people who were expected to come to our wedding that end of summer month. They were really making it a big deal as well. Since Benevolence would be the first of their 5 children to be married, like me, Benevolence allowed her mother and sister to make all the arrangement and proposal for her. Of course, Benevolence and I had some say in our soon-to-be wedding. Since our engagement and set date, Benevolence was often happy whenever we spoke and spent time together. Our love-making were more intimate and more passionate than ever. It was no more the run-of-the-mill fuck here and there anymore. No, it wasn't. It was more affectionate, more constant words of I love yous and such, and her grips and cuddling me were more firm and warm than before. We were both quite happy, and yet, in the back of my mind, I was angry at myself for being such an ass. I was living a lie then, and how could I come to terms with my deception? I only proposed then just to impress Chastity, and now I was stuck to lead this life of lie with the person I love. I still often think about Ashley then. Ashley, the beautiful blonde from Sunburst, Montana, as well. As well, I thought about Shin Shin. Shin Shin continued to be on my mind as well, in my heart. I was confused and overwhelmed. I was such a freak. I was such a false person then. I really wanted to be with Benevolent for as long as I lived. But I was really, but I, but was I ready for marriage then? I had no set career and wasn't stable enough to support a wife and possible kids then. I kept all my anguish and sad feeling to myself then, making sure that Benevolent doesn't know of my mistakes. I never wanted to hurt her in any way or any form. I really loved her then, but I couldn't bear myself to tell the truth of my past misdeeds. Thank you for listening. This is the end of chapter 85. Be on the lookout for chapter 86, titled CEDE, Testing Career Begins. This is Do, Ra, me, and I'll see you later. Thank you.